This is splitting New York Knicks fans apart, as while one Knick player has been exceeding all expectations and also doing something that nobody is talking about, fans are turning on another one who was an all-star starter last year, and now Knick fans are absolutely furious with him while absolutely thrilled with a completely different big man, and we are going to go over all of this. There's a lot to talk about on this subject, guys, because Knicks fans are very fired up right now, specifically regarding a few different players, as now that we are 14 games into the season, we've seen a pretty fair sample size, and there's some things to be really thrilled about, while there's also other stuff that fans are definitely concerned over. And jumping right into the video, guys, there is going to be a lot to go over, but real quick, if you're part of that 56% that's not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to Knicks Digest so you don't miss a single Knicks update. We have every single Knicks update coming at you every single day that you don't want to miss out on. But let's jump right into the video, guys. Again, a lot to go over on the team right now, because the Knicks, man, they really are in a very interesting spot right now, is the best way to put it. Because when we look at this team, when we look at the Knicks, we see one player who Knicks fans absolutely love across the board. There isn't a Knicks fan out there who dislikes Mitchell Robinson. Even fans that think that Mitch should be traded because his contract is coming up to an end, and it's going to be very difficult for the Knicks to pay him. Also, the fact that Mitch deals with injuries, fans still support him. Meanwhile, Karl-Anthony Towns has been an all-star starter the one full season he played with the Knicks, yet fans have turned against him after a not good start to this season, and we just have to talk about all this because there is layers to this. With Mitchell Robinson, fans are loving the way that he's been performing thus far. The man is averaging 4 points per game with 9 rebounds, blocking a shot per game, getting an assist, and also getting 5.4 offensive rebounds per game. That's been the big storyline surrounding Mitchell Robinson this season, have been the offensive rebounds. The man is doing it at an elite clip, but he's also doing something that nobody is talking about. Right now, we see that the Knicks are 8th in least second chance points in the whole NBA season thus far, which is definitely a shame, but also we have to take a look at something else here, because when we look at Mitchell Robinson, it's not due to his fault right now. As we see here mentioned by Fred Katz, after the Heat beat the Knicks last Monday, Kel'el Ware's teammates were excited about his bounce back. The 21-year-old showed that evening why he oozes with potential. He was aggressive scoring around the basket, gobbled up 14 rebounds, and shut down the paint during crunch time. When he was sealed with the game-saving block as well, some of his teammates seemed the proudest of the way he held Mitchell Robinson in check. Only 5 offensive boards in 18 minutes for Robinson. Yes, 5 in 18 minutes. That now counts as dampening the effect on the 7-foot behemoth, because that is how good at offensive rebounding Mitchell Robinson is. We know this, but when we look deeper is when things get crazier. As Katz mentioned, Robinson has played this season on a minutes restriction. The Knicks are extra cautious of his often injured ankle. When he's healthy, New York is capable of elite play. When he's not, the ceiling lowers. He's rebounding 25.7% of his own team's misses when he's on the floor, a would-be historic 11.3 offensive rebounds per 36 minutes if he could play enough to qualify for the league leaders. But the rebounding isn't the only part of Robinson's game that hit another level. There's also what happens after he corrals all those missed shots, and that is the kickouts that Mitchell Robinson has been dishing out, as the Knicks offense is ultra reliant on the ball hitting the paint, drawing in the defense, then kicking it out to the three-point arc. Most commonly, those plays occur in drives to the basket or in transition with a driving kick, but there's another way to force a defensive collapse inwards. Get your own offensive rebound and find a teammate quickly. Robinson has never been a better rebounder, but he's also never been a better passer off those rebounds. Rarely ever does he lob the ball back out to initiate a new play. Instead, he hunts the three-pointers. So far this season, 74% of the time Robinson kicks the ball out after an offensive rebound, the Knicks get a 3. That is an insane number to look at for this team, and one of the reasons why the Knicks have the 3rd highest offensive rating this season of any single team. They have an elite offensive rebounder who's creating 3/4 of the time another 3-point shot because of that. JJ Redick has talked about this before on his podcast back in the day before he was coaching the Lakers and said the highest percentage of open 3-pointers comes off of offensive rebounds because the defense all collapses, and if your big man is talented enough to kick the ball back out, all of a sudden you are going to see that work. You are going to see a lot of open 3-pointers come, and this is something that fans talked about Karl-Anthony Towns when he first got to the Knicks last year. He grabbed a ton of offensive rebounds as Towns is also one of the best rebounders in basketball, and the thought was, wow, he kicks the ball out a lot faster than Mitchell Robinson. Towns, who's an absolutely excellent passer, was able to get the rebounding, fly the ball out half a second later, where Mitch would come down and search around, but that's not the case anymore. When Mitchell Robinson gets the ball, he almost always knows in what direction that he's probably going to be passing it. He's very adept and very ready to find the open man, better than he ever has been before, and it does have fans really excited to see stuff like this because it is proving just how damn important Mitchell Robinson is. Something that we've all known for a while now. So it's a good way to see how all this is coming to fruition. Now, the Knicks, they're third in offensive rebounds with only the Houston Rockets, who at points are running 4 7-footers out there at the same time, with Amen Thompson, who's around 6'7", and the Portland Trailblazers, who have only centers on their team anyway. So when we look at that, it really does become this type of situation where the Knicks are just absolutely unbelievable, especially because so many of these offensive boards are just coming off Mitchell Robinson. It's not team efforts like the two above us. It's Karl-Anthony Towns, who's a great rebounder in general, including the offensive boards, and then Mitchell Robinson. Now, speaking of Karl-Anthony Towns, there have been people very critical of the way the big man has been playing this season. We saw, as Tommy Beer mentioned, and he does have a point to this, over the first 14 games this season, Cat is just shooting 42.9% from the field and 31.7% from downtown. According to StatHead, it's the first time over any 14-game stretch in his career that Towns has shot below 43% from the field and below 32% from three. And he did say credit to Cat for attacking the rim during this slump. He's gotten to the line at least 7 times in 3 straight games while averaging 9.7 drives per game. Over the season, Towns is averaging 6.8 free throws per game, which would be a career high. So Towns is adjusting, but fans are not thrilled with Cat's inability to hit threes. It has severely made them quite worried, and Cat's numbers have not been great when last year he started things super well. I mean, when we look at what Sports Illustrated said about him, when playing at Madison Square Garden this season, Towns is putting up all-star level numbers as expected. At home, Cat is averaging 24 points, 12.2 rebounds, and 3.7 assists, while shooting 46% from the field and 39.6% from three. Very similar numbers to last year. And he's also shooting 89% from the line. On the road, he looks like a completely different player for the Knicks. So far, when the Knicks are on the road, Towns is averaging a disappointing 17 points and 14 rebounds with 3 assists. The efficiency is also concerning, as he's shooting 36% from the field and only 17% from three and 84% from the line. Cat has been unable to hit the ball when he's on the road, or hit his shots when he's on the road. And we know the Knicks have been playing poorly on the road, but it gets to the point where it's almost just so weird. Kendrick Perkins also mentioned this as well, calling Cat out for the play that he's had thus far, saying the most important player on the Knicks is Karl-Anthony Towns. He's not their best player. Their best player is obviously Big Body Brunson, as he calls him. But when you look around the league, especially in the Eastern Conference, and you think about when you get to the postseason, who are you going to have to go against? Karl-Anthony Towns is one of the most skilled bigs we've ever seen. I just don't like Karl-Anthony Towns in this system because he's hanging around the perimeter too much. I think you have to have a balance. And look, Perk isn't fully wrong. Towns is sitting on the perimeter more, and it's evidently clear that Towns is uncomfortable in Mike Brown's offense just thus far. Something that is going to have to change, or it's going to become more and more problematic for the Knicks going forwards. Now, I do think that Cat's going to figure it out, but right now, it has been very concerning, and there's no doubt about it. Knicks fans are concerned, some floating the idea of literally trading Karl-Anthony Towns because of the fact that he doesn't fit with this Knicks team. Bleacher Report writing articles about how the Knicks and Cat and Brunson are one of the NBA duos that should probably be broken up because of the fact that it's just not working. However, when you think about stuff like this, when you think about trading Karl-Anthony Towns, the only player who really comes to mind in some sort of a trade is Giannis, and Giannis isn't getting traded off the Bucks right now. That's not going to happen, at least not now anyway. And as long as Giannis isn't getting traded, you're not really going to get an upgrade for Karl-Anthony Towns. There isn't really one out there. I mean, just floating names of other big men who are available. I'm not saying they're better than Towns or that the Knicks should trade Towns for these guys, but floating the names floating around are like Anthony Davis and Domantas Sabonis. I mean, I love the idea of Anthony Davis in theory when he's healthy. I understand the argument against it. And Sabonis, absolutely not. I don't like the idea of that at all. So when we look at this, it's just tough to imagine a world where Cat actually is to be moved on from by the Knicks. Now, as Sleeper Knicks mentioned, the Knicks' record when Cat scores 18-plus points is 8-2, and their record when he scores fewer than that was 1-3 as of November 20th, which is the same as right now because they didn't play yesterday or today, so it's November 21st, obviously, when I'm recording this and when it's dropping. And as Sleeper Knicks said after that, even further when he has 13-plus rebounds to those 18-plus points, the Knicks are 5-1 and 4-4 where he doesn't meet the mark in either points or rebounds combined. So the Knicks, there's an argument that Perk's right. The Towns is arguably their most important player. Now, I would just obviously still say it's Brunson because I'm not insane, but at the same time, I do understand the sentiment of what is being said here about Towns. He's very important to the Knicks. They need their all-star big man to be that all-star big man, and right now, he's been shaky. So the Knicks, they're going to have to navigate this. Obviously, the play of Mitchell Robinson has overshadowed the fact that Cat struggled a bit, but Mitch isn't playing every game. And those games that he's not, the Knicks need Cat to be that full-blown 25-12 all-star that we all know and love. But guys, what do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a wonderful day, guys. Go Knicks. I'm now realizing this video is probably coming out on November 22nd and not the 21st. But it is what it is. It's coming out before the game anyway. You guys are fine.